Let's head over to Lance and Marianne for a look at what's coming up next.
Linda, thank you very much. A disturbing discovery.
A woman found dead inside her burned out home.
When it happens close to you, it's kind of sad.
Neighbors with questions as investigators work to unravel a mystery. Plus, mail-order marijuana. Deputies alerted to a smelly package, where it was delivered, and the arrest that followed. And Black Friday bargains. Oklahoma retailers finally able to compete with surrounding states. The new law helping holiday shoppers get rock-bottom prices. And just a few of those screamer deals. Next at 5.
You're watching News Channel 4 at 5, the news leader.
We begin at 5 with a fire investigation.
A woman found dead inside her burned out home late Monday. Firefighters called to the scene near Little Axe just after 8 o'clock. At this point, they're trying to figure out how the woman died and how that fire started. New here at 5, more on the investigation and why the blaze proved to be so challenging for fire crews. Lauren Fultonberg reports new at 5.
People who live here in this rural neighborhood say they slept with one eye open as the sheriff and fire marshal investigate. If you didn't see the yellow tape, it would be hard to believe anything happened at this Little Axe mobile home. Cars still sit in the driveway, and the dogs still walk the property.
Everything's been really good and really nice here.
Dave Higgins says a death is a sad development in a quiet neighborhood, but he wouldn't call it surprising.
We hear every day killings and murders and accidental deaths, and it's just not shocking anymore really to me because it just happens. I hate it.
Beyond this fence, inside those walls, a woman somehow passed away. Her home somehow caught fire.
Our detectives and even the state fire marshal's office are looking at every possible reason and how this could have happened.
Right now, they just don't know. Neighbors didn't really know the woman who lived there. They say she kept to herself, not looking for many visitors.
It is sad, and it doesn't happen here in this neighborhood. And when it happens close to you, it's kind of sad.
The fire department says it was on scene for hours Monday night, putting out spots that kept catching flame. The chief tells News Channel 4 it looked like a hoarder lived inside. In the next day or two, the sheriff's office should get the results of an autopsy, which should tell us how the woman died. That's the next big piece of this investigation. In Cleveland County, Lauren Fultonberg, News Channel 4.
Lauren, thank you. And once the medical examiner completes the report, we should know the identity of the woman who died. And more details now on a trouble spot for motorists. We first brought you the story I told you about the 74 on Portland on Monday. State transportation authorities were urging motorists to find an alternate route between Memorial and 164th as crews work to expand the roadway. Well, today, Bob Moore Chopper 4 pilot John Welsh was back over the scene following an accident out there. A truck apparently crashed in the work zone, snapping power poles and pulling down power lines. As a result, those temporary traffic signals will have to be replaced. And crews probably won't be able to do that until late tomorrow afternoon. In the meantime, motorists are dealing with some slow traffic out there with a four-way stop. That means you might want to find a different route for a little while.
Also tonight, mail-order marijuana. A Yukon man jailed after an 8-pound package is delivered to his home. 30-year-old William Garby was arrested late last week on drug charges. He's since been released on bond. The post office alerted sheriff's deputies after the package showed up to the mail processing center in Oklahoma City with a strong odor. Once that package was delivered to an address along Vine Street, deputies served a search warrant and uncovered what they describe as high-grade California-grown marijuana. They think this is worth about $100,000. Authorities allege Garby is the middleman for a larger illegal drug operation. A woman who signed for that package while holding an infant is also under investigation.
Now, first weather from the Forewarned Storm Team.
Major system continues to approach Oklahoma this afternoon. We have the gray cloud cover outside right now in response to this major system now out in California that is definitely rolling toward Oklahoma. This will offer us heavy rain, some flooding potential in flood-prone areas, and some ice, sleet, and snow and rain, depending on where you live in Oklahoma. There are winter storm watches, warnings, and travelers advisories in effect in advance of that system. Now, as it heads for Oklahoma, the big day where we have heavy rain is going to be on Thanksgiving Thursday. We'll get over a month's total of rain in a day across a large part of the state. That's a major system for Oklahoma. Then Thursday night, the ice line moves toward Oklahoma City. It'll move through and into all of western Oklahoma, so ice will develop. Thursday night late into Friday morning, and then winter storm potential is in effect for the western one half of the state. Conditions favorable for winter storms, including ice, sleet, and snow. Here's Thanksgiving morning. Here's Thanksgiving afternoon. Look at the heavy showers and thunderstorms. Here comes the cold front, and look how all that precipitation just to the west of Oklahoma City changes over to ice. Some of that will be significant, Lance. We're going to talk about who may have power outages with this, how much rain we'll see, and whether or not Stillwater or Oklahoma City has ice as well. All that in the forecast coming up in 10 minutes.
Mike, thank you very much. Boy, a big shakeup at a Metro shopping center. Many of the tenants being forced to relocate, some after decades in the very same location. We're talking about the area of 2nd and Bryant at Edmond. The rumor mill has been swirling, claiming a Costco is in the works. Whether a Costco is in the plan is something nobody will confirm for us, but Edmond City officials say what they do know is the owners are planning a major change.
It's a big sea of parking in that center right now, so part of the plan is to bring back some landscaping and add that because they want to change the ambiance in the center.
The city says several of the buildings in that parking lot will be demolished, other spaces remodeled. We did try to contact the property owner to see if there are any merit to the rumors. So far, no response. Costco officials tell us they don't comment on new specific locations.
Well, if you're in love with all those Black Friday deals, you're not alone. In fact, you may not realize that Oklahoma law had to change in order to allow those great offers to be legal. From a mobile newsroom, Lacey Lett shows us how retailers are getting ready for the Friday frenzy.
Maybe I don't know, I have to work, so it's gonna be like late in the day, maybe. Too many lines, too many crazy people, just not for us.
It's just too chaotic and you lose sleep and...
But millions of other people around the country will be shopping as early as Thanksgiving morning.
That one there is going to be such a big deal.
Huge retailer Walmart starts their deals online starting at midnight Thanksgiving and will open their doors at 6 p.m.
So we'll have crowds and customers starting at 3, 2, 1 o'clock.
All hoping to get in on the doorbuster deals. For example, a 55-inch 4K television, $300 off. Savings on hot Star Wars toys and video game consoles, $50 off.
We will have queue lines where associates will actually be manning the entrances and the exits of certain particular items.
Selling doorbuster deals below cost used to be illegal in Oklahoma. Products had to sell for at least 6% more than stores paid for them. But State Senator David Holt co-sponsored a law to allow retailers to offer these get-you-in-the-door deals. He didn't want shoppers to drive to another state.
But if you held up a flyer from Walmart versus a flyer from Walmart in Arkansas, you would have seen that their prices that those people were paying in Arkansas were much cheaper than what we were paying in Oklahoma.
Holt says the former law was designed to prevent grocery store wars and was archaic for today's shopping strategies that consumers love.
They were going to those stores across the border and shopping just because they had, in those neighboring states, cheaper prices than we did.
In Oklahoma City, Lacey Lett, News Channel 4.
And if you want to know about more Black Friday deals, we've got several on our website. Just go to KFOR.com and type in the keyword Black Friday.
I get off at 10:30 Thursday night, boom, straight on out there.
A friend and I were talking about that. Just, no, I can't do it.
Oh, it's
Gotta stay away.
Good times.
Well, there's trouble in Toyland.
Yeah, from toxic lead to broken bones, the gifts you might want to avoid putting under your tree this year.
Plus, a common ailment for women, and now word that it could be linked to high blood pressure. The symptoms you'll want to discuss with your doctor.
And tonight on Freedom 43, lost luggage, ways to get reimbursed if your bag is lost or damaged just as you embark on the busy holiday travel season. A consumer alert tonight before you start your holiday shopping. A child safety group has released its annual Trouble in Toyland report every year for the last 30. The U.S. Public Interest Research Group has revealed a list of toys parents will want to avoid, including toys which have high levels of toxic substances like lead and chromium. In addition, the group also expressed concern about toys that contain powerful magnets. Those can damage and cause serious injury to little kids if they're ingested. And another warning surrounding what may be one of the hottest toys this holiday.
They are motorized, self-balancing, two-wheel scooters that don't have a handlebar. CPSC is aware of 8 injuries in the past 3 months. Injuries can be severe, they can involve broken bones, or even a brain injury.
Well, for a list of products parents may want to avoid, you'll find a link to Trouble in Toyland on our website at KFOR.com/links. Always a good idea to do a little research beforehand.
Absolutely. It's hard, though, with so many toys out there.
That's true. Well, enjoy the weather while it lasts. Getting kind of nasty out there right now.
Yeah, it is. And we're hearing that the end of the week's going to bring some pretty big changes for the holiday. Mike, what can you tell us?
Speaking of, Marianne, end of the week, I went ahead and forwarded this, just a snapshot here. Sunrise Friday morning. Look where the ice line is located. This is a major system heading our way. It'll go on for about 3 days. What you can expect where you live. That's next.
Boy, a great time of year for football fans in Oklahoma with Bedlam this weekend, but on the NFL level, bad behavior making headlines today. Johnny Manziel, trouble again after a video of him surfaced partying with alcohol. His past has involved rehab. And former Sooner star Frank Alexander suspended for a year after violating the NFL drug policy for the 3rd time. Of course, they're not the only ones, just the most recent. What do you make of all these violations? Log on or call us.
In Health Check at 5, there's new evidence PMS may be a risk factor for high blood pressure. Researchers at the University of Massachusetts conducted a small study of women with and without premenstrual syndrome. They found those with PMS had a 40% increased risk of developing hypertension in the future. At least 8 to 15% of women experience PMS-like symptoms: nausea, insomnia, depression, acne, and cramping, to name a few. Experts say the study doesn't prove cause and effect, but they encourage women with PMS to have regular screenings to monitor any changes in their blood pressure. And that's all in today's Health Check.
Now, here's Oklahoma's leading meteorologist, the Forewarned Storm Team's Mike Morgan.
Well, it is cloudy. It is gray outside. Low-level moisture has arrived from the Gulf of Mexico, and it looks like it's a windy, chilly evening out there. There's going to be a little bit of drizzle from time to time, but it's going to be cloudy here for quite a while going forward as this major system gradually moves into Oklahoma. And right now in Oklahoma City, we're looking at temperatures which are really kind of trailing off because of that wind being so strong. We're 59 degrees right now. South wind, it's up 16 gusts to 24 miles an hour. A little peak of sun there as the sun sets. There's clear skies just about 30 miles to the west of Oklahoma City. Temperatures are in the mid-50s to lower 60s right now. Low gray cloud cover is increasing across Oklahoma. That is low-level moisture currently. Major system to the west. We've been talking about it since early middle part of last week. It's now coming into northern California. This has loads of moisture with it. It's a record strong El Nino. It has some cold air that'll be getting involved in the system as it starts to travel into Oklahoma. There are winter storm watches, warnings, and travelers advisories in advance of that system, including a winter storm watch for the western half of Oklahoma, just west of Oklahoma County. So let's kind of break this down. It's a major Oklahoma storm heading our way. Thursday, heavy showers and thunderstorms. Thanksgiving, waves of rain. It'll all be liquid on Thursday. Temperatures won't be cold enough on Thursday yet for any ice. But you may have some ponding on the roadways. There might be flooding in flood-prone areas. Talking about 2 inches of rainfall plus for a pretty good part of Oklahoma. Then Thursday night, the cold air arrives in western and northwestern Oklahoma. So by Friday morning, that ice line will be just to the west of Oklahoma City with real winter storm potential over western Oklahoma, especially freezing rain. That appears to be the main factor right now. So for the Oklahoma City metro area, let's focus on that. Heavy rainfall throughout the day, Thanksgiving into Thanksgiving evening. The cold front doesn't arrive until after sunset Thanksgiving, so really in the evening hours on Thursday. But then the cold air plunges in, so by sunrise Friday morning, the rain ice line will be literally just a dozen or 2 dozen miles to the west of downtown Oklahoma City. So we'll call it Friday morning a potential of getting some ice on the west side of the metro, talking about Piedmont, El Reno, Kingfisher, places like that. And that'll continue right on through Saturday morning, Bedlam Saturday morning as well. So that was for the Oklahoma City metro area as we kind of refine how this system is going to impact everybody in our state. 55 tonight. It'll be windy, cloudy, gray, a little drizzle tonight. So pretty mild, though, and 62 for a high temperature tomorrow. But as we head through Thursday, Thanksgiving, look how the showers and thunderstorms develop. Waves of them here, heavy rainfall. There's 5 p.m. Thursday. Here comes the cold front, and watch how that precipitation, again, just to the west of Oklahoma City and Stillwater, it goes to ice here, sleet, and then snow out in the Oklahoma Panhandle, and that continues throughout the day on Friday. So you can expect travel problems in western Oklahoma throughout the day Friday. 55 our low temperature tonight, cloudy, a little drizzle around. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s to mid 60s tomorrow, a cloudy, windy, gray day, and then Thanksgiving, a 100% chance chance of showers and thunderstorms, 2 inches of rainfall plus for a good part of the state. It'll still be mild, but here comes the cold front. By Friday morning, there's the rain ice line, literally on the western side of Oklahoma City. Ice here, sleet here. Highest potential of any power outages will be in western Oklahoma. Friday afternoon, 35 in Oklahoma City, so above freezing, but still ice in western Oklahoma. And Bedlam Saturday morning, 32 here in the metro. Stillwater, 33 with ice continuing in western Oklahoma. And Bedlam afternoon, 36 in Stillwater, 35 in Oklahoma City. And look at the huge rainfall totals there. Gigantic numbers for this time of year. So Bedlam, 35 at 4 p.m., 36 for kickoff. A cold rain, but it looks like it'll be ice-free for Bedlam. That's good, but just barely by a few degrees. But we'll take that for sure. And look at those probabilities of rain and then some cold rain, a little light morning ice possible for Oklahoma City with lows near 32 to 31 degrees. And just a slow warm-up, very slow toward the early part of next week. Guys, we'll track this carefully more at 6.
Thanks, Mike.
A look at Bedlam when we come back.
Now sports with Dylan Buckingham.
Are the Thunder up? It appears so after last night's win against the Jazz. Kevin Durant looked great in his return to the Thunder, and they played one of their best defensive games all season. And the bench for Billy's bunch, they produced. The win was the first time this season the Thunder have won a second game of a back-to-back. Head coach Billy Donovan naturally was happy afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that we moved the ball well. We had some possessions there in the first quarter. We got a little stagnant, but after that, I thought the ball moved pretty well. Our defense got us out on the fast break. We were able to score some points. I thought we closed the second quarter out really well. Started the third quarter well. But I thought overall it was a great team effort because everybody contributed in some way.
Oklahoma appears to be on a magical mystery tour of revenge after last season. They've avenged losses to both Baylor and TCU, with Bedlam on deck, of course. The Sooners have been able to do that thanks to Baker Mayfield. The junior has been named a finalist for the Burlsworth Trophy, which goes to the nation's best walk-on football player. But Mayfield says none of that matters without a win on Saturday.
Our last 3 games were our most important, not just because it's a Big 12 championship, but because last year they beat us pretty good. All 3 of them did. And so they came into our house last year and beat us, and so this year we got to be keyed in and not let it slip away. And we got to realize our goal is right there. At this game, it's you go win it and you take the Big 12, and so we'll be focused in on that.
Mayfield has been as elusive in my opinion and as productive as he has in the world that he's lived in just my opinion. He's made plays with his legs, his ability to run and keep drives going and move the chains and then move around and find guys open and throw it down the field. He's been a really good player.
The 2016 football schedules are out as of today. How crazy is that? September 3rd, OU opens up at Houston, who has 1 loss this season. They're pretty good. At NRG Stadium. September 17th, they host Ohio State. The Big 12 opener is October 1st at TCU. This one's kind of interesting. On a Thursday night in Ames, Iowa, Oklahoma takes on Iowa State. And then, of course, December 3rd, Bedlam. So let's take a look at Oklahoma State. They open up their slate on September 3rd against Southeast Louisiana, the home opener. Then they have Pittsburgh, and they open up their Big 12 slate at Baylor on September 24th, at TCU on November 19th. And both teams have a bye the week before, November 26th, before they play Bedlam. If you want to see the entire list of all these football games, head on over to KFOR.com/sports. We're back with more right after this.
Well, my initial reaction is I wanted to find who that mom was and give her a high five because she did the perfect thing.
Coming up tonight at 6, an alarming story that'll make any parent think about their kids on social media. A local 12-year-old targeted by a meth dealer online. Details at 6.
Hard to believe. And a nationally known civil rights attorney is speaking out on the trial of a former Oklahoma City police officer. Why the attorney says he will not sweep this case under the rug at 6 o'clock. And Mike Morgan is tweaking that forecast. Boy, some big changes coming our way.
Yep, there are. Nightly News is next.
See you back here in 30 minutes. Good night.